you are. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 302, being recorded on April 9th, 2025. I'm your host, Art Moocher. I've got Scott Solo here.
What's up, nerds?
Oh, you pulled a Chris. Got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hi.
Nope. And
What
Chris
the heck?
brings it back.
You doing a show today?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just acting nonchalant so you guys want me more.
Exactly.
Is that
Oh,
what
I
it
mean,
is?
yeah. I mean,
I'm too excited. You know, you got to play a little hard to get.
obviously.
Yeah.
Well, Ernie, the Fallen Fett, will be joining us later. I got a text from him, so they're wrapping things up over there. So
Happy
he'll
500.
Woo! All right. But before we get into it, and before we have some fun tonight with Star Wars, because we're anticipating a huge couple weeks coming up, we just want to kind of take a step back, and just kind of do what we do. Scott, our Shadow Council is waiting so patient.
Are they?
They
Are
are.
they patient? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
And of course, you know, everybody who is not patient in the pit there too. So
those guys, those freaking guys. Okay. Well, hey, welcome back, everybody. Special shout out to our amazing Shadow Council. That is these fine folk right here. We've got AJ from the Forbidden Panel. Who's Ernie? Brandon and Anya Epler, Brian C., Cliff, Commander Bly, Commander Cook. We got the commanders in here. Crystal E, Don the Dad Dorn, Eric Grubb, Gavin Connor of the Holy Hour All Cure podcast, Obi-Sean Kenobi, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic, Muftak is back, and Nicholas Schaefer. If you guys want to join our Patreon crew, scan that QR code right there and donate a couple of bucks. We would really appreciate it. It goes right back into the production of this show. And I did want to say a quick special shout out to AJ from the Forbidden Panel. I know he's right now. We lost somebody from the Forbidden Panel this week, and a friend of ours, Richard from Crooked Smile Collectibles in the Forbidden Panel. He's no longer with us, so they're doing a memorial tribute to him tonight. So special thoughts out there to AJ and our friends at the Forbidden Panel. So
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, gone too soon. But in the meantime, we do have these fine Mo effers in the chat. We have got Stu John Jedi in
What's
there.
up?
Bring it back.
Bring it back. You like that?
I'm here.
Commander Bly's in there. Hey,
Yes.
I don't know. He's like shouting at somebody, trying to get somebody's attention. And then, of course, the power of the first, because it's Commander Bly.
Of course.
We've got Don the Dad Dorn in there. We've got the mighty Basil G.
Nice.
Not to be confused with that weird rat thing that kind of ran around in the Acolyte. That's not Basil G.
This is a cool Basil.
This is a cool Basil. We like this Basil.
That was Basil
then we
H.
Yes.
Then we've got our Japan correspondent right here, Ryan.
Man on the streets. On location.
Man on the streets. That's right. And his sick new logo that he made. Good job on that, Rhino. It looks really nice.
Nice.
Santo 1414 is representing Hydra in here. So what's up, Santo? Who else have we got? We've got Gavin Connor. The wheel. Yes. That's right. That's right. We are doing the wheel tonight. And who else have we got? We got Meeks in there. What's up,
man?
Meeks? And we've got the mighty. I don't even have to give him a fake title. He's got Doctor right there already. We've got Dr. Brantley in here. We've got No One Watches Artie Esquire. We've got, let's see, Bondage Brittany. What's up, Bondage Brittany? And, anybody else in there, just give us a shout and we'll shout you out right on back.
Hi, everybody.
Nice. Yeah. So, of course, next Friday starts celebration. Next Friday. Holy, it's here. It's coming.
We're not going.
No. But Rhino Hobbies.
But our man Rhino Hobbies is. That's right.
But just to remind everybody that the panels will be streamed. They promised that, so I know that I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be
except for the coolest stuff.
Except when they go dark, right, and they show a trailer.
That's when Rhino Hobby sends his cell phone.
That's right, Rhino. You tuck it right, the little camera right there, and
nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah. No one watches art. I like the Acolyte Basil.
No, you didn't.
Wow.
That's how you just fix that.
Yeah.
No, you're getting gas.
Man.
No, you're not. No, you didn't.
We also got William Rodriguez checking in with us.
Hey,
yes.
William.
Yeah. So next week celebration, we'll have our pre-celebration show. It'd be kind of cool to kind of last minute efforts, see if whatever news drops, if it drops early or whatever, and we'll get into that. And of course, the following week, Andor starts. I know that there's gonna be like this commentary coming out about Andor season 1, and I hope it carries to season 2 like that.
I think it did.
Yeah, like I hope it.
Didn't it come out today?
I think it today was like Tony Gilroy and explaining scenes and stuff. And I hope, like I said, I hope it's an encompassing Andor season that's gonna be on like the round table like we saw like before, right?
I hope so. I went to go watch Daredevil and I saw that in there, and I was like, oh
yeah.
I said,
I've been seeing clips all day. Yeah, I've been seeing clips all day. I'm like, oh, okay, commentary is back, even in this format. I'll take it. I'll take it.
So is it like a regular commentary, like it shows it and they talk over it?
I think it's like question answer kind of deal, where it's like the clips that I saw was like, what was your favorite scene to shoot or whatever in Andor, when he kind of explains, sets up the thing. But it's the modern commentary these days, not like when we watched the movie together and
Right. It's not
the good old days.
Theater 3000. Yeah,
exactly. Mando Mike is checking in. Yes, this is the Tupperware party, actually. Yeah, could be.
Mhm.
Sure, why not?
Oh, maybe it's not out. This is the season 1 recap. Is what I
The
was
season
thinking.
1, yeah. Like I said, what I'm hoping is that it's an encompassing. Like they put the 1 out, and then when Andor comes out, we get all of it. Oh, so a rumored thread that Scott posted on our little private chat was the runtimes for Andor. Just want to bring this up real fast. If the runtimes post was true, we are looking at average of 50 minutes an episode. An average. Yeah, so damn.
2 hours,
3 episodes
40
per
minutes.
day.
Yeah. So
2.5
we're gonna have
hours.
to. Yeah, we're gonna. I
Oh.
mean, our Tuesday nights are gonna have to be like in front of that TV, watch, and then we're gonna, do our show on Wednesdays. So, I'm hoping that people do the same, and so we can all catch up, because when we do the cast, they're gonna be spoiler cast. We're gonna be talking about it and everything, and
Yeah.
those are hefty. If that's true, they're hefty, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's almost 3 hour movies in a 4-week period. That's insane.
I know. Different approach, which again, I'm hoping that this works.
Yeah.
On paper, it seems like it's awesome. We'll yeah. All right. So, well, that's enough of the news, right? We are going to kick back tonight and do what we do best, is like when we wait in line for anything else. We're waiting in line to watch Andor and Celebration. Is that we're gonna talk Star Wars, but we have a random topic wheel that we'd like to bring in from time to time. And it's just stuff that we add there that was stuff that would be fun to kind of like theory craft and go over. Of course, pit participation is a must. It's encouraged. You guys, even if you have a topic, bring it in, man. Let's go for this. And it's a cool exercise that we do and show off how much we live.
It's this, or we bash the sequels. Your guys' call.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with both. I'm cool with both. You guys know me. I almost just started going there, like just automatically. Maybe some of these wheel topics will get us there.
We do have a soft rule where we don't bash it a lot, but
yeah,
once in a while, if we're out of topics,
I think wheel episodes, like I said, if it's a thing, I mean, you have to let it go.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So.
And if like Mooch said, if you have any ideas, put them in the comments. I can throw it on the wheel and we can add it as we go. So
yeah. Well, with no further ado, let's bring it out. Let's go. Let's start talking, man. Let's go. One of these days we'll do a marathon podcast, and we'll just go. Just don't even have a time limit. Just go. I love it.
So here we go. It is our wheel of random, the wheel of fate, as we like to say.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready for the first spin?
Go for it. And everybody, you can see the topics at hand there, and we'll see where it lands on and just kind of have fun with it tonight.
Oh. All right. What is the most iconic ship design in Star Wars?
Iconic ship design. So this one should be a fairly fast discussion, I think.
I don't think there'll be any blood.
Iconic.
Yeah, I know. There's probably 4.
Yeah. I mean,
at least 4 major.
The first thing that comes to my mind is the Millennium Falcon. I mean, just mistaken nowhere. It's like, it's Scream Star Wars. It is Star Wars. It could be a logo for Star Wars. It's like, out of all the ships, the Millennium Falcon would be my, like, as far as iconic,
It's the one that has the name.
Absolutely.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Now.
Right. Slave 1 is no longer Slave 1.
Right. I'd say the Falcon is obviously iconic, and X-Wing is iconic, a TIE is iconic, and the Death Star is iconic.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 that are really hard to pick from. But I'd probably agree with you just because it's the Falcon.
If I had if I had to draw a Star Wars logo, it's probably the first ship that would come to mind.
Right. It's okay. So if you look at the Millennium Falcon from any angle, you can absolutely tell what it is, right?
Yeah.
If you look at a TIE fighter from any angle, sometimes you get like a weird, you get the what is it, a hexagon shape?
Yeah.
Or is it a hexagon? No, it's 6-sided, right? Anyway, regardless, doesn't matter. But the Falcon, Star Destroyer looks like a triangle at some angles. Otherwise, it looks like a Star Destroyer, right? But the Falcon, I mean, no matter which angle you look at it, it looks like the Falcon. It's iconic. It's been in almost every movie.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's probably the go-to answer, honestly.
Yeah. How Runners checking in. We also have Rick Jones checking in with us. Like the pit is agreeing. The X-Wing Millennium Falcon seems to be the focal points of like, I always have to put like, if I was drawing a logo for something, right? If I was tasked to do a poster for Celebration, it's like, and I had to use, and if the thing was like, use a ship from Star Wars as a general ship that everybody would know.
TIE Fighter.
I mean, that's TIE Fighter.
We did. I did that poster. I did that poster for the Las Vegas convention, and I did the Millennium Falcon. I drew the Millennium Falcon for that thing. I will never draw that beast again in that much detail.
You know, it's funny in Star Wars, like the simplest shapes, you know, like R2D2 is the cylinder. Try drawing them. You know what I mean? Like try drawing an astromech droid.
Get a tattoo of a tie inside your arm with the lines, details, and bolts. There's no detail in all the damn things.
Yeah. Just get the galactic the cog, you know, the Imperial cog. I mean, that's a hard thing to do. Exactly.
That jackass didn't know which way to color it.
I know.
He's like, where's the color go on this?
Yeah.
This part?
Yeah, please don't mess it up. Yeah.
Commander Bly. Oh,
sorry. I was just,
Commander Bly said the most iconic is the Silver Angel was the Martez sisters ship.
Stop it, Bly.
The
rumored that they're going to be in the Ahsoka movie, not the Ahsoka movie, but the Mando Grogu movie.
Really?
There's rumors. Yeah, but Arthur Henderson checking in.
So Arthur.
Yeah, Rhino. Oh, Bly, you're pushing buttons. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's a Filoni thing, right? And
it is.
Yes.
Filoni puts all of his shit into all of his shit, so it's like,
that's right.
No, why not try having Doctor Strange tattooed in your armpit? Yeah.
I have so many questions right now.
Yeah,
I don't want answers to any of them. So.
Pictures. All right, bring up another wheel. I think for the most part we all kind of agree on that. I mean, I
agree with that.
A warm up for us to get our wheels spinning, literally.
Here we go.
And figuratively.
We are.
That was a good warm up. That was an easy one.
Yeah.
A little softball.
Oh. What is the greatest book in Star Wars Legends?
I know it already. It's like, I mean,
Star Wars Legends. What is the greatest book?
Darth Plagueis, hands down. I can't think of another book, honestly, because that's the one that I want to be in canon right now. Like I know what you guys are gonna say, like the Bane or an Old Republic or Thrawn, you know, Heir to the Empire or whatever. But to me, Darth Plagueis, because there is so much there that I can't sequel bash, but there's so much there that should be in like now.
Having attempted reading a lot of the old Legends books again, I can't read. Having tried to reread a lot of the old Legends books, I've got to say, the Darth Bane trilogy is great, but I will give it to Darth Plagueis for being everything I wanted it to be, and it still holds up. Right?
Yes, holds up. Yeah.
Yeah. I read the Jedi Academy trilogy back, in the early 90s or mid 90s, and I love that series, but I went back and I tried to reread it, and I'm like, oh, this is not good.
No.
It does not hold up. Heir to the Empire is good, but it reads more like a Star Trek novel than it does a Star Wars novel because of the tech behind it. They try to over science it, right?
It's the story in Heir of the Empire that matters, but not necessarily the writing, kind of like the prequels.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And but the Bane trilogy is fantastic. But as a trilogy, it's fantastic. But as a single book, Plagueis. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you would think it'd be the Thrawn, the Heir to the Empire for me. That's just my favorite story and character in there, right? But the best written and played out is the Bane trilogy. Pick one.
Okay, yeah,
probably the first one actually.
Okay,
Tom kills it for me every time.
Yeah, it's I know. But that's the worst part. Good. That's the worst part is the thought bomb, and then I can get over that. We got a lot of goofy shit, right? We got a lot of cringy shit. So. That's it. I can't get around that. Every time I go through any books or I listen to any or read any or anything, Bane is the one that pops out. Is like, damn, that was good every single time.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to say, I'm hoping that the re-release of Shadows of the Empire and the re-release audiobook of Shadows of the Empire will keep my attention, because Shadows is one I tried rereading this month. I made it 3 chapters in, and every time I was falling asleep. It just
I love
bores.
Shadows.
It bores the hell out of me every time. So,
Oh man, see, Shadows gets honorable mention just because of what it was, though.
I think
yeah.
Shadows encompasses an era. Like I said, it's before the storm or it's during the storm. It's like and
it was just cool how they did it. It was all part of the Nintendo 64 package. You know, you're like, oh, it's on the back of the box. Oh, it's one of the first things. The toys were coming out. It was just part of the events that we were going on. But that's probably why that's why it holds a special place.
The soundtrack's amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Arthur Henderson agrees. Shadows of the Empire. Commander Bly, Plagueis is a great book. No one watches already. Plagueis hands down. Basil is heir to the Empire for him. Would Mando say? I live vicariously through you guys. Of patience is reading. Scott reads a bedtime stories for me. However,
that's nice.
Sure.
Yeah. Bondage Brittany, the greatest legendary book are the Ryan Johnson trilogy adaptations that don't exist. See, Dark Disciple is good too. I'll replay and Dark Disciple on the flights. Yeah, Dark Disciple is fantastic.
But this was a Legends question.
Right. Dark Disciple being canon.
It makes it harder because canon does have a lot of good single books.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. That's one of those things where Legends was series. You know, a trilogy or more on everything, or duology anyway, right? Where most of canon, besides Aftermath, is and the Alphabet Squadron, right, are mostly just one-offs.
Right.
Yeah. One of the Thrawn's two trilogies.
Rick Jones says Phasma.
It's not Legends.
It's canon, but
it's canon.
Yeah.
You know what? I have it. I haven't read it. That's the most. I know the most interesting thing in that book is how she got her armor and what it is. That I think that was
her and Cardinal. Cardinal's cool, but it's a good book. There's a lot in canon that's good.
Yeah,
I like Cardinal's continuation, the Black Spire book too. That's where that book really shines. Is how it leads into the Batu side of things. It's really cool.
Van Bly again.
Yeah, I mean there are some like goofy scenarios. I don't know, but I like it. It's fun, and I think I agree with Chris. It's like the encompasses that year of Shadows. Awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We all played the video game, had all those toys, the comic, everything, and the book. And
Gavin Connor says, curious on that Plagueis book now. You guys should do a full book review episode so I don't have to read it. Well, you should read it because it is like if I had to pick any book that
Desert Island book.
Well, a Desert Island book on like you have your Star Wars canon currently as it is, and one that actually could bridge it. Plagueis is the book to read. It's like here you read this book. It's because there are some Darth Maul discrepancies between real canon and that, but I think that's honestly it. Really, you're getting into Palpatine, you're getting into all the stuff. I mean, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
No one's already. I agree. Shadows was a little underwhelming for me. Well, we're gonna do a deep dive in Shadows pretty soon here, and we'll discuss all the stuff and tell you guys why it's cool. I kid.
I like this Sarlacc Digest book club.
Yes.
It's funny. We used to do it like every couple of weeks. We used to do a book review. I used to do them all the time. But it just felt like, everybady's like, F these books. And then it went to High Republic, and then it became us F these books.
Yeah. Basil, there's always Splinter of the Mind's Eye. Great book.
That's where the romance between Luke and Leia got going.
Yeah.
Really where you get to go through Luke's daydreams of her and
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess sometimes I look at Plagueis and it's mostly like I love it so much because I wish it was adapted into canon. You know what I mean?
And you
couple changes here and there, and that was it. Yeah.
You don't realize how far the story goes into the Phantom Menace too. That was what shocked me the most. His story was in the Phantom Menace. Yeah, it's pretty.
During the events of Phantom Menace, you're still reading what's going on, and it's like, it's really cool. Arthur, to be honest, if it doesn't have pictures, I'm out. Yeah, I mean, we're all comic book fans. So let's see. Rick Jones. Sorry, I don't like Legends books that much, except Paradigm. Yeah, I mean, look, I think there are a few gems in the Legends catalog, and there's a lot
And
of
we
like
talk about 'em
really
all
throwaways.
pretty often, right? The
Yeah.
gems would come out often.
Yeah, but there is a lot of throwaways and storylines that go forever that are just like honestly like what Scott said, they turn into Star Trek.
The new Jedi
Hype.
Order,
Yeah.
the
I mean, they really get into like, with like an alien invasions and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. I never thought that was Star Warsy. That's more sci-fi, and I get it, So when Disney says we're gonna just put those into Legends, I'm cool. Some of it I'm cool with.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was always cool with that because there was junk in there too.
Yeah,
and just to try to get it to clean up, but then they've never been really good about making it perfectly canon. We clean stuff up.
They reference it, but they do their own kind of thing, and then because if you really think about Luke Skywalker's character in Legends went through so much shit. It's like, how can I don't care how powerful you are, how can one person go through all of that turmoil? And
you never see Luke's therapy bill.
No. I mean, geez. Chet Maddox checking in. Who are these guys? Yeah, I mean, just one day we're going to turn the cameras on. It's not going to be us. Just be random people bringing in the star.
It's like that episode of The Office where Jim
is
played by God, what's that actor's name that plays Jim?
And we just know Asian Jim.
Yeah, Asian Jim.
Yeah, Asian Jim. Oh my God. Basil, he says he did love Plagueis. He had to do the audiobook. I've done both, and it holds up both ways, but the audiobook is extra special. It is. It's great.
Yeah.
All Star Wars audiobooks are top notch because they got sound effects and music and all sorts of stuff, and it's way better that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right. I'll be the read the storybooks that come with. I did too. The R2D2 beep or whatever.
The Who Jibs.
Yes.
The Who Jibs. There you go.
I have to check.
Yeah, I heard they're bringing the office back.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
As big fans we are, we'll see.
Yeah.
Spin that wheel.
All right. Here. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Here.
Ernie better get here fast.
We're going to fly through all these. And don't forget, if you have any wheel topics, let us know. We'll pop it on the wheel and add it.
Yes.
Oh, here you go, Moose. Here you go. What is the cringiest scene in Star Wars?
Okay. Well, first off, this one hurts. All right. I'm not going to say it right now, but this one hurts because Star Wars should never. No. Star Wars should never have a cringiest scene, right?
Everything has.
So this is our chance to, as much as we love and live and breathe Star Wars, we understand that and behind our mind, it's a little, dot there that says that there's still movies and it's still, damn it.
Hellrunner just got his ban. Original truly is pretty cringe. Wow.
You mean Star Wars 77? Okay, I think what? Okay, how do I work?
Okay, this used to be an automatic. We'll start with that, right? This used to be an automatic.
Yeah,
we have to expand now because if you'd have asked me this for the past decade, it would have been the tick scene in Attack of the Clones. Even though Attack of the Clones is up in my high bits of the movies, right? I love Attack of the Clones, but the whole tick scene, not just the tick writing, the whole discussion, it's all lame. But the tick makes it super cringe. Okay, but I think we've moved past that now. I think with the advent of Disney Plus and some of these shows and what have you, we can, and some other movies, we can probably get a little deeper. So away from that, I think we all agree the tick would have been it a while back, right?
A lot of episodes too, like the love scene, the tick.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess probably the special editions, the yell. Is like I think I cringe. Like I'm embarrassed if I'm watching it and somebody walks in the room.
Yes,
right. And I'm like, oh,
what is this Star? Oh God.
Bondage Brittany, I am haunted by the scene they never should have gave me.
Yes. Yeah. See.
Yes.
Oh,
walked in on when somebody walks on that scene, some of these scenes. So
now listen, we're taking the tick off the table, right?
Yeah,
we're just going to go ahead and pick the tick up and kind of set it aside.
Except that it sucks.
And you got to, and I think the caveat is you got to pick one scene that towers them all instead of saying like, well, this was cringy, this is cringy. No. The most cringiest scene in all of Star Wars. It could be. I'm going to say all of Star Wars from 1977 to date, even the holiday special, like everything. I mean,
I can't do all that.
Oh,
because
yeah.
the holiday special is just
The holiday
cringe.
special, the whole thing is, yeah.
That means I'm gonna have to include like Luke on the Muppets.
Oh,
And
no,
we
that
don't
was
wanna
great.
do that.
That was great. That was the best scene ever.
But Scooter has a Star Destroyer upside down in his room.
That's
Because
bad.
they don't know.
Bad continuity.
Bad
Well, just let's let the pit do their thing, and
Marinate
then
on
as,
this for a
as we
little bit.
yeah. So
Yeah.
But
no one watches Hardy.
a
this-
scene.
I mean, you could. It's one big scene, really. No.
All right, what do you have, Marco?
Han Solo speaking Treewick.
You're foolish.
That is dumb,
No, you're
cringy,
dumb.
embarrassing. It was an embarrassing. I was yelling to myself, please stop it. Oh my God, they're doing it. Stop it. And then it went a little too far. And then I stopped. I was like, oh my God, please never do that again. No human should be doing that. I'm sorry. I know that trumps a lot of other scenes, but that's one I still to this day.
I think it's a fantastic scene.
Yeah,
I think it's great
I know you
that
would.
Han
I
speaks
really
Treewook.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's great if he can understand that he can at least speak a little
That's
bit.
fine. But
and it makes sense that
on paper, it just the execution was horrible.
It
was like, oh my God, what's going on here? This is stupid. My opinion.
Your opinion is flawed for some reason. I don't know. Dude.
I'm gonna get so much shit for mine. I just know it.
But you're okay with Treewook, right? I mean, like Scott's cool.
I
with
am.
it.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I mean, you guys. I mean,
I don't think there's anything really cringy besides his name. And that was
damn. How'd you get your name? That is
it wasn't so much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get embarrassed by somebody walking in. I'm just like, that's stupid.
Yeah,
that's probably it. But the rest of the movie is pretty good.
Solo.
Yeah.
No.
Stupid.
That was dumb. that was dumb.
Yeah. Damn it.
For me, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for it, but for me, it is anytime Anakin opens his mouth in Revenge of the Sith during the end duel. Everything is just, I mean, the duel itself is awesome, but then every time it focuses in on him, it's him reading those lines.
You came here to destroy me.
Yeah.
Like that.
You did this to her, or whatever it is that he says right there.
You turned her against me.
There you go.
Me.
I felt everything in there. I watched that not too long ago, and that's sad. I'm sad for that now. I thought it was pretty good. I felt everything. He was doing great.
Yeah, I mean, it's that, they did the anti-cheese editions a few years back where they removed every bit of dialogue that Anakin did. Yeah. And it was just Anakin with Obi-Wan pleading for him to come back. And Anakin just gave him the dirty stink eye the whole time. And then they started dueling, and it was so much more impactful. Yeah. It was so much better. But yeah, that's to me, every time I watch it, I cringe. I do. I literally cringe. So
Chris, what do you got?
Leia in space.
Oh, Mary Poppins, Leia. Yeah.
I can explain it. I don't hate that.
It's true.
How it worked in canon. I just hated seeing it.
If you came to me and says Han speaking Treewick or that Leia scene, which one to delete? I would have picked the Leia scene. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah, it could have been done different. I can get through the shield. I can get through the quickness of things. I can get through space a little bit. We've seen it in other movies, kind of, right? So I can get over it. It's just it looks shitty. It's dumb.
It's a dumb scene. There's a lot of dumb scenes in Star Wars. There really is. I mean, I'm surprised. I don't know if you guys are surprised. I didn't say Hondo or Holdo. Or Pele Moto.
Really cringe anything.
No, it's just I kind of chalk that up with like how Scott's saying with the like her. I don't like her dialogue. I don't like her attitude. But it's not a cringy scene. It's just don't like that.
We just don't like her character. Yeah. Like, I'm thinking about Acolyte, and I'm like, I really, really hate what's her nuts, right? But I'm like, I don't know if there was anything cringy. Yeah, it was just horrible.
The song or the
Scott, you win.
There we go.
The power of many wins, dude. There's
power
no
of many.
Way.
Yeah.
Rework is definitely saying though.
That's another one. If someone walks in a room and you're like, "What are you watching?" It's a Star Wars.
Gay midget porn. Please don't.
Yeah. Well,
That's just-
that ain't cringy. That's just.
I mean, but I'd rather admit that than I'm watching it.
Of course.
I think,
Power of
I think
many.
Chewie's grandpa's into that, or Chewie's father's into that stuff. But if you watch the holiday special,
Yeah, there's some odd choices, in Star Wars in general. Yeah, like before any Disney stuff, there would have been a lot to pick from the prequels, like a lot.
There's a point on here how Runner Ray telling Kylo to put his shirt on. How about just Kylo having his shirt off for that reason? Just because it was a weird, like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
why are we doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it was just weird, right?
Was
So
it the first time that we had Anakin had a shirt off.
Anakin had
Anakin
Luke
his
had-
Skywalker
Yeah.
in the back of the tank,
Yeah,
Luke
Luke
in the
Skywalker had his
back
back. Yeah.
and then Anakin.
and Anakin. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember
Bloody
the
green.
incident where it happened, where they were connected, because he was like getting dressed or something like that.
It's like he
right?
was in the
I mean, it was-
bathroom.
he was in his
Yeah.
room. Yeah,
He could have been
Yeah.
doing anything else, but I mean, they intentionally do that kind of stuff, right? Luke's it made sense in his.
Right,
Anakin was
right.
sleeping, having a dream. He was just
Mhm.
changing in the bathroom and shaving. They just wanted to show him turn around.
it's like
You
half
know.
of the acolyte stuff. Everybody's like putting their shirts off and on or skinny dipping.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
her, dude. That was
Yeah, it's like,
all her.
come
That
on.
she was,
Do we need like this? It means nothing.
Yeah, she over sexualized that.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go with the pit here. The
There's a
sand.
lot. Sand dialogue, yeah.
Okay, well, I jumped the gun here. Okay, so yeah, no one watched already says sequel trilogy. Rhino Hobbies, Luke becoming a moof milker. Yeah, like
Oh, yeah, that's a good
yeah.
one.
the
That's a
milking
pretty bad scene.
scene. A milking.
It's
There's a
because the
milking scene in
drink
Star
and
Wars.
like the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
look.
I couldn't pick one scene in The Rise of Skywalker because the
Yeah.
whole movie, other than very few scenes, it's got great scenes, and the scenes that aren't great are all cringy. So it's
Yeah.
like that whole freaking movie is,
It's cringe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Commander Blythe, the
Magic.
entire Acolyte series except for Episode 5. Arthur Henderson, Episode 8. It's just The Last Jedi in general.
Yeah.
Chet Maddox says the sand dialogue. I hate sand.
Me too.
This would have been one of the was creepiest scenes. Anakin flirting, trying to flirt with Padme.
There you go.
Touch my shoulder. The hell. Rick Jones, sand. Yeah, Attack of the Clones, romance, Basil. All right, Commander. Thank you. We'll see you on the replay. Thanks for chopping in and chatting with us, man.
Tell her to stop her yapping.
I mean, yeah. Bondage Brittany, I'm the spy and
Yeah.
your mom jokes. Yeah. Oh, I mean, there is so much. I chalk it up to all bad versus cringy. It's just like it's hard. That's a hard wheel spin to really.
Yeah, because there is a difference in cringe, right?
Yeah.
I cringe during the special edition Jabba dance scene or the
Mhm.
music.
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Like, I cringe at that. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
But I think the other ones are more like a different cringe.
Exactly. Rick Jones hiding a child in a trench coat.
Yeah, that's not bad but that's more a big ass eye roll. It's like, what are
Yeah.
we doing?
Yeah. Here's one for the wheel. Scott, How Runner Base says topic for the wheel. If you could save one person using the world between worlds, who would you save?
Oh.
Consequences be damned.
Oh, okay.
Put that on.
Oh yeah, Mando Shrewick.
Shrewook.
In Solo, when he starts gurgling, whatever.
He was speaking Wookiee.
Yeah, okay, but Chewie understands English, and so it doesn't matter. It's
He didn't know that. He didn't know he could trust him. That's how he got him to trust him.
I understand.
Because this human
Still
has
cringe.
taken the time to
Again,
learn Shrewook.
you write that on paper. It's like, okay, how do you execute it? Oh, stop it! Just
It was
stop.
fine.
It's the
It was-
same
I-
way.
I know
I-
you guys think it's
I
fine.
actually
That's why,
thought that was a
I
fun
won't let you write
moment.
any Star Wars fan fiction. None of it.
No,
You
no,
put that
no.
shit in there, and it's wrong.
Okay. Darth Gatekeeper.
Thank you for agreeing.
The Cad Bane child trafficking that Mando Mike that sucks, but that's not cringy. That's just a
That's just
shitty.
funny.
That's funny. Jesus, that just shows how bad Cad Bane is and how Palpatine is. Right?
Mike,
But-
that's just funny. Come on. That's not cringe.
yikes.
That's funny.
Marco's lost it.
Yeah, I'm done. You
Seriously, I think he just canceled himself.
can't cancel what's not there.
Joey telling me that I'm wrong, and then sorry it was on a delay, but I'm wrong about Anakin. His "I hate you" line is iconic.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
the "I hate you" is the only good line said by Anakin in that entire scene.
That's sad.
I will
love
give you
entire
that.
scene.
I will give you that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to
What?
go through.
Man, people are bashing the OT. We need to cleanse this chat.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Sorry,
But-
Runner.
Yeah, Reva is cringe. Just Reva in general.
There was probably a scene or two with Reva that was pretty cringe.
Yeah, her just barking orders and just nobody took her serious, and like she still did it, and it's like
She just didn't make any sense. Her character didn't make any sense, and I think that kind of spoiled the whole idea of her.
yeah.
You know, and it kind of makes everything a little cringy whenever it comes to.
Yeah.
We need to spin the wheel again.
Yeah, let's get off the cringe.
I need.
Because now we're just
to-
looking
I
for
need to-
negativity.
Oh yeah,
So I'm pretty sure we can keep going. Yeah, that's and fire burning. Hello,
Listen, Dr.
Bring
Brantley,
bring it back. Bring it back to the fire burning the stone. Let's
Hey,
go there.
on fire. It's not stone. It might
If it's,
look
but if
like
it's stone, it shouldn't be on fire.
it
You
might
just can't
look
go
like it.
and say if it's a duck and it floats, it must be a witch.
No, wrong, wrong.
Come on.
If it's flammable, it's not
Who are
stone.
you so wise in the ways of science? No.
Can I spin the wheel now?
Yeah, go for
Please.
it.
All right, here we go. We're
Trying
spinning the
to catch
wheel.
up with the pit.
Oh, they're going off. It's a great conversation.
But Joey's
All
checking in, and so is Lars. Ola Hog. Okay.
I think he's doing a Wookiee roar right there. What
Yeah.
if Luke joined Darth Vader to destroy the Emperor and rule the galaxy as father and son?
Oh,
So the events of Empire Strikes Back.
Yes.
So okay, now we got to get serious, right? Now the joke's over. Now we're saying, all right, this is some real theory crafting right here. So Luke at that power and
Okay,
Empire
hold on.
Strikes Back joining
Are
Vader.
we in ESB or Return of the Jedi? Let's get clear.
I was thinking Return of the Jedi. Whenever they're back together, Luke has accepted the fact that his father is Darth Vader. They're confronting the Emperor. They've got him right there. Luke swishes around and chops the.
So
Yeah.
Luke
Emperor's
kills
head
the
off.
Emperor right there. So like Vader, they don't.
Vader
destroy
doesn't block it.
Vader doesn't block. Okay, so if we're going with that, or are we doing the moments at the end where Vader gets electrocuted anyway and then kills the
No,
Emperor.
I think Vader doesn't block it. Let's go from there. Like he's telling him to join him, Vader doesn't block it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because
That's his
No
first
matter-
move to the dark.
and no matter what Luke says right there, Vader will not allow the Death Star to be destroyed right there, right? So I mean, I don't know how that
How can
turn
he
of
stop it?
events happen. I don't know. That's what I'm getting at. I feel like
I don't think you can.
you don't think you can.
I think they can escape because Luke knows what's up. Like Luke's gonna say,
Yeah.
they're gonna destroy this thing. Let's get the hell out of here. They can so we can say that those two can escape, but the events, what's happening on Andor and the fight that's already there, how can Vader stop both? It's just not gonna happen. Or Luke fighting both, right? But if you're saying that he turns right then and there at that moment, kills the Emperor,
How does the rest of it play
Andor
out?
still happens. Lando still. I mean, like that whole, like I said, the timing there. So I think that's a good way of doing it. It's like you have to say that the rebels still succeed because in order for, and now Luke and Vader escape, but then they're gonna come back as the Sith figures or father and son
Right.
ruler, right? So
They'll destroy a Death Star. They've done that before.
yeah,
right?
And the Empire was still the Empire. Right. So they
instead of Operation Cinder with Grand Admiral Sloane and all that, Vader is now in charge. Vader is now the Emperor, with Luke being the apprentice, the
Yeah.
Dark Lords of the Sith. So I don't think with those two in charge, I don't think the rebellion stands a chance after that.
I agree.
The two most powerful Jedi or Sith now in charge, even escaping the Death Star, meeting up with the rest of the fleet. I don't think the rebels.
This would start up a whole new trilogy.
yeah,
Is
of
where it
course.
would go, right? Because we'd end there. We have to start with the reign of Vader and the reign of the Skywalkers,
Right.
right? And then you kind of go through that, and then the end
Interesting.
probably
Yeah,
redeem
interesting.
Luke in the end, right? And that's
Mhm.
what you'd have to do. Is
Or-
go through the whole thing, and Leia will be
Leia
the one
becomes-
to turn
yeah.
Luke back as a sister. Because he'll have
Yeah.
just learned that too, and they'd probably be going after her, trying to turn her, and they'd be fighting because she doesn't know the whole truth. Oh no, she
Because-
does.
Well,
At this point, she does.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you lose the whole redemption story. So you have to have a redemption, or you can
Vader
use
won't
it.
redeem.
That's
Luke
right.
will.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
doing this, you lose Vader's
They-
redemption story, so you don't
Yeah.
have that to fall back or to be like, oh, it's on repeat, right? So you don't have
Right.
that. So the entire arc is Luke's redemption back.
Yeah.
You know,
Interesting. No, they did something similar. Well, not similar. They did that Star Wars Infinity comic series years ago where they killed off Luke at Bespin, and it was up to Leia to go back to Yoda and get trained as a Jedi and go confront Vader and the whole bit. And it was an interesting story, but
Did she
it
turn?
felt a little. No, she turned
Oh.
Vader. One of the dumbest scenes you'll ever see. Actually, they made a figure of it. Is Vader in all white?
Oh, right, yeah.
He had come back from the dark side and he was in all white, right? They did that comic or the action figure of him, but it didn't quite work. Yeah, Star Wars Infinities.
Because that stayed good. And all it did was kill Luke and change the character. This way, it changes the whole outcome.
Oh, well,
it does. It changes everything.
Well, like I said,
I think, but he knows the plan. Luke knows the whole plan. So if he does it at this point where he goes to first hit the Emperor, there's plenty of time before the Andor stuff goes down. There's plenty of time before anything.
Well, just like no one says the Death Star takes out Andor, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that in one of the adaptations, or it was one of the drafts of the Return of the Jedi? The Emperor gave the order to destroy Andor.
I don't know.
No, okay.
That.
Let's see here.
Could do that, but destroying Endor would take away your shield, so you'd still be at risk from the ships. Endor didn't destroy the Death Star; the ships did. So
I think you think about that planet takes out the fleet too, because they're look what Alderaan had it. Yeah.
Possibly, but you're also putting the Death Star's pretty close range right there too.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if you
close to there.
Yeah.
So, or you just start. Well, I don't know. You can't shoot the laser, but every couple minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, I guess you just escape and take the remnants, like we see kind of in 7, right? Not 7 in Mandalorian, the remnants, but they'd be more of the Shadow Council would be real.
It's almost like if I was going to have Luke and Vader join, I would give the rebels that victory as a counter point to what was just happening, right? Because killing the Emperor. Now, what's more dangerous, Vader and the Emperor, or Vader and Luke? You know what I mean?
Vader and Luke.
And Luke, but I still find that, I don't know. I still think that Luke would be trying to play the dark side like he did in Dark Empire, right? Where he joined the dark side in order to try and
master it, right?
Destroy it from within. Master the dark side and destroy it from within.
Right.
And bad things went down, but Luke still stayed himself. So
first off, it's a hard one to justify as far as like his let's do this, kill everybody, boom, boom, unless that was the plan all along. Like he premeditated this from Empire Strikes Back. Let's say that he finds out Luke's father and Vader says, join me, we can kill the Emperor basically, and we can rule. And then he does the shocking thing, whatever, and we get to Return of the Jedi words that he's pondered it for a year, right? And so this could be like Luke's master plan of it enticed him so much to join forces with his father, already having this relationship with Leia and Han and the rebellion and Obi-Wan, right? Luke is not a bad person per se. So the motive is funny there. It's hard to justify but then there's there's 7, 8, 9 to get that motivation, to get that whole thing going, right? You know what I mean? Like,
to flesh it out.
It out, right? But at that moment, like I said, I'm inclined to like, all right, if I accept it, I'm inclined to have the rebellion still win at that moment. And then nobody knows that Luke and Luke was on that thing when it blew up, right? That's the whole thing. It could be where that was Luke's plan too, to escape with Vader or whatever, send the fleet out, do whatever, and then escape, and then like I said, rule the galaxy. But of course, you have to squash the rebellion in order to do that. Right. But he also could take advantage of faking his death too. From that perspective.
Yeah, that one's
this is an episode of the Sarlacc Digest in and of itself, where we design what this would be.
Sure.
The thing is, Anakin's switch without the Clone Wars is pretty abrupt. right? Like they had
Anakin switch. Yeah, I'm sorry. I see what you're saying. Yes, yes.
The hey, I'm going to help you, Mace. The bad guys over here. To you can't do that. I pledge myself to you.
Right.
You
Let's
know,
go kill some
so
kids. Yeah.
I think I could buy Luke being a farm boy orphan all of his life, having his aunt and uncle killed, his new mentor that was taking a dad role in him killed, and now here's his real father who's been lied to about his whole life. His new mentor, his little green mentor, is now dead as well, right? And now you're like broken.
Yeah.
This guy should be going through emotional turmoil. Like he is way held together through 3 movies for everybody dying around him, mind you. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you have a chance at your real father teaching you real Force shit. And get this, you get to rule the galaxy. I'm in. I mean, like, what? I believe that more than, okay, just teach me how to save Padme from dying in childbirth when we have all this medicine and technology and aliens that will bring the baby. You know, I mean, like, what are we doing?
True.
You know, much easier turn.
We have cloning facilities that can make 5 Padmes.
Yeah, right. I mean, somebody put it in here too. I don't know about all the return, but I know originally Luke was going to sit in that throne and say, "I am the Emperor now." Right? I mean, like there was a plan for that anyway. So it
Lucas did have a plan of Luke going to the dark side at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Is, like, yeah. So I mean, I could buy it. I could buy it.
I think there's a way there.
I think it would be awesome. I want to do it now.
Yeah, I think there's a way there, but it also gives you a lot of pause in between Empire and Return, like a lot of pause from that motivation.
Then what happens is if you do this and you keep everything else canon,
yeah,
right? Like, how do you work the Mandalorian until you don't? Because they're remnants now, or they just they're just under Imperial rule. Because the Mando's been there forever.
Well, the rest
been there
of
since the Clone Wars.
Everything else is just fundamentally changes. I mean, from Operation Cinder onward, everything just fundamentally changes.
Yeah.
I don't think the Empire builds a 3rd Death Star. I think at that point in time, that was the Emperor's plan, and the Emperor has fallen. So now we're going to do something else. Is that Starkiller Base? I don't know. I'd rather it wasn't.
You know what?
But Cinder, but you mentioned Cinder. Cinder wasn't a matter of the fall of the Empire. It was a matter of the fall of the Emperor.
Emperor.
Yes.
So
right.
Yeah, Vader could be fighting remnants of the Empire that are still loyal to Palpatine after Operation Cinder, because he'll send down Operation Cinderbots and tell everybody this is the deal. Even though Vader's still there, would he have to deal with that for a while? Then they're fighting themselves for a movie.
You know what I'm trying to, you know what I kind of thought about real fast. Just, I mean, it kind of goes on this whole thing about, like, you know, let's say Luke does cut the Emperor down, and I know that you're saying timing why they could just turn the Death Star, blow up Endor, and just be done with their day, right? But if the event still happened where they still blew up the Death Star with all 3 of them on there, and even if Luke turned, he'd been dead anyway. Like,
they escaped with much more time. Right, then after him sliced, they could have escaped right after slicing him down. Let's go, let's regroup.
Well, they escaped,
and then let's have the Death Star automatically blow up Endor as we're going on autopilot. Well, we bounce out.
Yeah, like I said, I think the only people, like those 2. I think the hardest part would be this. The hardest part to work through is the motivation and what happens after. You know what I mean? I think we could get to it, but it's like you said, now is it a 3-way battle? Now it's Vader and Luke and their army versus the Imperial remnants and Thrawn versus the rebellion.
I think we would have to pretend that it was all it was the Emperor's done, no Cinder. He has to put in Thrawn. He would bring Thrawn back in the fold, right? Then we'd get into that kind of thing, but with Vader alive. So Thrawn's empire with Vader alive is crazy sauce, because then you just replace. You don't need Sabaoth. Or anything. You don't need Thrawn.
Oh no, I think it really does change everything post Return. I mean, everything. And like I said, George Lucas obviously thought about it, because he had that direction at one point, saying Luke's going to turn to the dark side, and then he did everything else.
Man.
Well, all right. That is all right. I'll let you write this fan fiction this time. Just know Han, Buddy speaking Treewick. So Treewick. And we're good, and we're golden. Okay, dude, so
it was fine.
Let's do one more before we get
the pod race.
So I take it Ernie's not joining us tonight. I mean,
Obviously not.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say,
And if he
no,
does, it's going to be the cringiest thing ever on the Star. Like,
Oh, the fart on Phantom Menace. That was pretty cringy.
I'm surprised nobody said Jar. Like nobody said Jar Jar, right?
Jar Jar's not really cringy.
He's not even
Jar Jar.
He's not even in my brain.
Yeah.
He's so far out there. He's not even. He doesn't occupy any space in my head.
All right. I don't know if this has been answered or not, but where was Ahsoka in the original trilogy?
I like it.
For those that are following, yes, episodes 77, 70, 80,
So
and 80.
after Rebels, we know she just on her own and she was Fulcrum.
Yes.
Host, we know she was kind of on her own doing samurai Jedi stuff, right? The first time we see her was with
training Sabine at one point.
She did, and so in the middle of that, up till we see her with the magistrate, right? She was training Sabine and then gone. So
yeah,
I don't know. She's not with the rebellion anymore.
Weird.
She was no, actually, okay. I think she probably left the rebellion post return. Right, that's when she probably stayed in through. So the original trilogy is a good question.
I think she left the rebellion after the World Between Worlds because she had to figure her shit out. She was, if you think about it, all she wanted to do was get revenge on Darth Vader for killing Anakin, just to find out that was Anakin. That rocked her world right there. She still had faith that her master was one of the good guys by the end, just to see what he had become. Right. I think that takes her out. I think she goes on, she pulls a Kenobi and just goes on or not a Kenobi, but a Yoda. I think she seeks out some place to sit, meditate, and find her place back in the galaxy again.
Unbeknownst to her that's rebellion is doing its thing and destroying
the
Empire.
Knows.
No, she would know. She would know. But
really, not want to join in.
I don't think so.
It goes against her character.
Yeah, especially after hearing the name Skywalker blew up the first Death Star. Everybody knows the name Skywalker after Death Star 1. It's so weird, right?
You know what? It's also strange that the comics, because the Star Wars comic, and this is one of the reasons why I said that. Hey, what's up,
Julie?
One of the reasons I said that was because we had a Star Wars comic that took place in the 3 years between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. And we had another 50 issues of a comic that covered Empire to Return. And in none of those scenes, in any of those comics, was Ahsoka ever mentioned. Did she ever make an appearance?
Right.
Nothing. She was just gone.
She was there at the beginning, and then
because Filoni has 100% control over Ahsoka. Nobody else writes Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So only he can, and right now he's fucking around in Ahsoka's world, and he's going to want to tell that story. So nobody kind of like remember how George Lucas said you can touch anything in Legends, just not the Clone Wars era.
Right.
That's mine. And then, but to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's
Filoni did give us the insight of where she was during episode 3, during the purge, the whole, because in Clone Wars season 7, it blurred the lines. And then it was that fast forward scene of Vader seeing the 501st helmets, right? So that's like, we don't know where that takes place, but obviously it's in between, or, OT time. And then, like I said, Chris, and then 5 years after Return of the Jedi, she shows up. Going after Morgan Elsbeth, and it's like, so she's still in the fight, right? But not in it. It's almost like she's in a different fight, and it could be something completely different. It could be where
odd.
Yeah, it is odd because after Return of the Jedi, Luke establishes the new Jedi or the Academy, right? And then Ahsoka is obviously still in the fight fighting Morgan Elsbeth, but during that's why she's
there at the Academy. She's there.
Yeah, she's there
at the Academy, and she trained Sabine before that too.
Yeah.
So somewhere between, maybe that's it. Maybe she's focusing her energy on training Sabine for some reason.
Yeah, but then they've been blanked out for years too. But for that whole time. But I could have swore Sabine was fighting in the rebellion too.
I thought so too. I mean, we even had that,
but not in the comics.
We only need Hera.
Or because of Ezra and Thrawn, that's what she's been doing this whole time. Is
maybe
out there trying to find Ezra and that's why I think the rebellion and everything that the original trilogy was happening, she didn't know about. Like it was unbeknownst to her. This happened, and she had her own story looking for Thrawn and Ezra, just like Bondage Brittany said. That's the only way I could think I can make it make sense.
I get it. Now the Hera and Chopper made an appearance in those comics. They had full arcs with Hera and Chopper and the Ghost, and
and they're in the original trilogy. They're in Rogue One.
They're in Rogue One.
Yeah.
They're also
Or-
in. They were off screen in Return of the Jedi because obviously we saw that animation where the ghost was on Endor.
That's right.
The Tales of the Force, right?
Yes.
Or-
Yeah, Forces of Destiny.
Force of
That's it.
Destiny. Yep.
Forces of Destiny. So we've only got her accounted for, and we do know that during that time, Ahsoka is training Sabine somewhere, right? Unless the training of Sabine took place somewhere after Return of the Jedi before.
Yeah, true.
It seems like they were
Ahsoka.
broken up longer than that.
I
What
just
I mean? Like,
Well, that's
Yeah.
they've
6
seen
years.
each other. So you're
That's-
right. Yeah, you're right.
still
6 years is
6
a long
years.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's they felt like Ezra. It was Sabine and Ahsoka. They were the ones that were looking for Ezra. Even when Ezra found, when they found him, right? They were like, we never stopped looking for you. Like, Ezra even thanked him in Ahsoka, right? He was like, you found me, and it was like a very emotional thing. Sabine having his recording there, and Ahsoka looking for this or uncovering this Grandmaster plan of Thrawn and stuff. So I do think that it was two separate adventures after the events of Rebels. Like, you still had the Rebel team going and fighting in the rebellion and then overcoming or, conquering the Empire itself. And then you had Ahsoka and Sabine looking for Ezra and trying to find out where Ezra and Thrawn was. It's almost like
it's
two
just weird
separate
that they
adventures.
left the rebellion knowing what was going on right then. I guess that's my only problem with it. Is it just feels weird.
I think it's almost like, and I'll use this as a Lord of the Rings analogy, right? At the end of Fellowship, when Frodo and Sam went off, everybody thought just wrote them off for dead, except for Aragorn. It's like we just have to give them enough time, and they went off on a different adventure to make sure these guys did their thing. So maybe Ahsoka and them was like, let the rebellion do their.
She went and did her own thing after Order 66, right? That's the same principle.
Yeah,
it's like you just lost.
She abandoned the fight. She abandoned the fight and went to be a farmer, right? I mean, so she did the Yoda and Obi-Wan thing.
The problem was bringing her back as Fulcrum. Because that put her in the mix of everything. Had you just brought her back as a wayward Jedi, or I know, Force user, there's no big deal. But you have her in
as a key figure.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that is, like I said, there are some real thought bombs to really address in these future, even with Dave Filoni, even with him involved. You got to come to the table. You got to come to the Sarlacc Diet so we could tell you. Because now you called her Fulcrum in this thing. Now this has implications. Where the hell is she now? You know what I mean? Like, you can't. You're right. You're 100% right.
She had to give somebody notice. I mean, even Han gave notice before he was going to leave Hoth.
Maybe it's all Hera's doing, and maybe we will find out. Maybe we will find out.
That's good.
You think that after the Battle of Malachor, where she discovered that Anakin, she was sucked into the world between worlds, and she had, the big revelations and all that, and then shoved back out there. You think that she would just immediately go right back to the fight again? Because I still think that is, for lack of better terms, that's earth-shattering news right there to get. That's
then you have to look at Luke's motive in the sequels, right?
But Luke, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought you were going elsewhere with Luke.
No, but meaning like I'm going to do my thing while the world blows up. If Jedis have this kind of notion sometimes, and why not Ahsoka? Because she did leave. Yeah, well, she left the order. The order's dead. She joined the fight, and maybe she just like, you know what? My fight's somewhere else at this point too.
Well, that's what you're saying right there, right? It was such a deep thing that happened in World Between Worlds. She just had to pull off and meditate. Yeah. Scott's saying, right? Like,
Yoda did the same thing.
That was a lot to take in.
Yeah, Yoda did the same thing. Luke did the same thing. So
because when Luke discovered that his dad was Darth Vader, he's like, no, and then I'm gonna fight to bring him back, right? But he only knew the legend of his father, basically. Ahsoka, essentially, that was her older brother that she
means a lot more,
fought side by side with. They were, to lose him that way, and then want to avenge him that whole time, holding him in her mind like that for another 20 years. Or 15 years just to find out that he became the demon of the Empire, essentially. I mean, that's a lot.
And I can see knowing Luke exists would bring her back, being that she would see the good that Anakin used to be, right? And that kind of thing. And she would love Luke
a lot more than what Luke would.
Luke doesn't love Vader,
right?
No,
he
loved the idea of his father. Right. He didn't know Anakin. right? But like you
do.
said, Ahsoka loved him. Obi-Wan loved him. So their love goes straight into Luke. So I mean, it's a really important. It's weird that she'd be gone.
It is, but I do find it amusing that so Luke is in the main universe. He's building his Jedi Academy, right? He's doing the thing. Ahsoka came visited him. He's building the academy, getting students. He's having a grand old time teaching the ways of the Force. All of a sudden, though, Ahsoka's on Peridia in the middle of nowhere, and that's where Anakin's spirit decides to go. Not to hang out with his son and to help his son form a new Jedi Order.
Right.
It's to go over and watch over Ahsoka. That's a very interesting turn, right? Especially considering that Luke had, or Vader seemed to have a lot of faith in his son at the end of it, or love for his son whenever he brought him back. It's an interesting.
His time as a Force ghost, time is different, right? Remember that story about how time was just always, they could be everywhere and nowhere all at once.
In any age, yeah.
So I suppose showing up for her and then showing up for him at a different time, kind of
could be
in these times in peril, or right. Well, it was Luke near the end is when
that reminds me of the book The True Set Baccarat, when Luke, when he was suffering, right, that is the day after Return of the Jedi, and he was calling, like he was like asking about Force Ghosts. He was asking his Obi-Wan or Anakin to come and visit him, and they visited Leia instead, and he was pissed about that. That just reminded, like you said, nobody comes to Luke's aid.
Yeah.
Luke's destiny was
if you're
done
ready, if your
Return
mind
of
is
Jedi.
ready, whatever you're at in that moment, right? Remember, that's why Qui-Gon couldn't go to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Right.
So even in that book, it was Leia was the the golden child versus Luke. Like I always said, Luke was expendable. You know what I mean? It was like he did his job. He brought balance to the Force through Vader or whatever it was, and you don't need to do this anymore. Now it's all about Leia. So
he was expendable when he left Dagobah. Right? Obi-Wan was like,
I know,
he's our last hope. He was like, nah,
let him go.
I got a spare.
We got this.
Yeah.
Hellrunner. What was that? Sometimes you shouldn't interfere lest you bring about something worse.
But I think that's what Luke, the trip.
Well, I think that's why. Yeah, like I said, it's got to be in that whole mindset of trying to be the run out with the laser sword and save the world kind of stuff. Look, Luke had that vision, and maybe Ahsoka had it too. Like,
I think Scott's idea about the world between worlds and her kind of just going to a deeper place.
I think there was a separate
probably
fight.
The only way I can talk through it, because everywhere nothing else makes sense.
Well, I think she took it upon herself to just go find Ezra. She owed it to him to find. He said, "Find me." It's like she owed him that, and I think she went to
find
do that.
Me to Sabine. He said, "Find me to Sabine."
Yeah, and then,
but either way, you have a mission first,
right?
And they've always been about mission first, right? Yeah. And then we'll take care. That's
I do think though that it's piggybacking on what I said earlier. I think it's kind of cool that they're saying, and the rumor mill that I've seen regarding the filming of Ahsoka now is that Hayden Christensen is on set playing Anakin again. Yeah. And I find his return in that world, the two of them playing off each other again, just I can't wait. I cannot wait to see where that
we're supposed to get Kenobi in armor was
that too.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well.
So all right, sorry.
Which means Cody. You would think.
Could be. Yeah.
We got Rex. Why not Cody?
Okay, hold on. Stop the wheel. What was the other thing today about Jim Cummings?
Yep.
Everybody. Hondo Onaka. Jim Cummings did some facial scans into preparation for. Some people speculate a video game. Some people speculate the Millennium Falcon ride. And then others are really speculating on Ahsoka or Mando Grogu. Something of a Hondo Onaka live action. Either way, they have it now. It's like either way, it's in the archives.
I think the only reason, because I lean towards the ride, is because they were specific about Onaka transportation.
Right.
Yeah, and that's how he speaks in the ride. So I was just like, it's probably to do with the ride and the changes, but there's this sliver of hope,
right,
that we're there. But
I mean, Mando Grogu movie is done filming. They are in the middle of filming Ahsoka, right? So these news things that pop out usually happen months after it really came out, right? So what we're hearing about is like 6 months ago. So in my mind, that puts me into the Mando Grogu movie. You know what I mean? Instead of something that but again, the Millennium Falcon ride is due out next year, and yeah. I mean, here, you know what?
I think Carson Teva is the Nick Fury of the universe, but you could very easily use Hondo.
Yeah.
You could.
100%.
Especially connecting Jedi.
It'd be,
and
I think I like Hondo a lot better because it's more character driven versus like that cop, a police officer kind of deal.
It'd be Ezra, my boy, and then blah, blah,
because Hondo does have some ulterior motives and stuff, right? So
the reuniting of Ezra and Hondo.
Yeah.
Come on.
Anyway, we always have these cool things where we think they would have a cool conversation about something. The only one we've ever had is Luke and Ahsoka. Right. And it wasn't even as deep as the conversation we wanted to have. It was just like your dad. No, I want to hear tell me something about his dad. Tell him something. Right.
Yeah.
It would be like you could have that same thing with Onaka when they mentioned that Luke's master, if he asked, who's your master? And he says Kenobi. And then get into I knew Obi-Wan Kenobi. We were best friends.
Yeah, we were best friends.
Yeah. I would love it.
Hell yeah.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Well, that's the cool shit you'll never get, though, right? That's like the neat stuff you would just love to see on the side that has to happen. Just show it.
I don't know. It's like Hu Yang saying a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, credits.
Right.
Yeah. Son of a
exactly.
Man, Hu Yang could introduce everybody because he knows everybody or talk to everybody, right? He could tell everybody. We talked about that. I want an anthology series of Hu Yang telling old stories about Jedi.
It's perfect.
Why is that not done?
I mean, it's perfect.
He could be the narrator of a Tales of the Jedi series.
Maybe he is the narrator of all these Tales of series. Maybe I would. Maybe it comes out later on. It was like all these Tales of series that we get. It's all Hu Yang, and it's thousands of years in the future it's the archives that he's pulling from and telling a whole new glass of Force users, and just sitting there and no longer they have lightsabers. Now it's a different weapon. Now they're all considered Skywalkers and I'll do it. I don't care. So, all right. Well, that again, I love doing the wheel because it actually I love it. Sometimes it reinforces story and characters and stuff, all the things that we love to like just kind of stand in line and talk about. We'd be doing this no matter what, if you were standing in line doing it, if we're not doing trivia with each other, it's these concepts. What if I like it in this format versus like a Disney what if. I don't no thank you. This is good where it lies, but there are some really good ideas here, so
free to use them, Disney. Free to use anything we ever say. Just call us and just say.
Exactly. I could see them doing a what if series now based on what we were talking about. Emperor cutting down, or Luke cutting down the Emperor
right there.
Yeah. Just don't block it, Darth. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Come on, Dad.
I know.
Let's go.
I think if they had like a robot chicken would have been awesome. Like, all right, when I tell him to cut me down, I want you make sure that you block it. I will. Make sure, because I don't want to get there. I don't want to,
Is it 1, 2, 3 block or 1, 2 block?
It's a 1, 2, 3 block. Is it when he burns?
Is it block on 3?
Yeah, and it's funny. That would be awesome, like a robot chicken, like a discussion,
Yeah,
because I'm gonna taunt them really hard.
Like the Lethal Weapon 3, but in Palpatine Vader.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be taunting them.
Yeah. But wait, if Luke cuts down the Emperor, does that mean that the Emperor's spirit rushes into Luke and then all of a sudden he looks around and goes, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, that's all.
We have the power of all the Sith now, or do we
that's all it would have taken in Rise of Skywalker, so why not?
I know, right?
Because Vader didn't technically stab him, he just threw him down a shaft. So the fall killed him. The push didn't.
The fall killed him. That was what's her name?
Yeah.
Died.
Aura Singh.
Yeah. Aura Singh.
You killed Aura Singh. Well, the fall killed Aura Singh. I just pushed her over the cliff.
The fall killed her.
So
I'm gonna watch that movie tonight.
It's good. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, again, let's get out of here. The pit, you guys were on fire today. Thank you so much for participating. Of course, we'll bring the wheel back, every time.
We're saving the rest of those questions.
Yeah, we're going to add to it. So, you know what? In the comment section below, add some comments of what you want to be added to the wheel, and we'll get them on there.
Hey, what day does Andor come out?
The 22nd.
Oh, okay. We got one
Yeah.
more episode before then.
Yeah. So we'll record next week, and it's going to be our pre-show for all the crazy Star Wars stuff that's going to happen. And then the following show is going to be the celebration. Andor. We might have to do some sort of special somewhere.
Could be cheers, could be tears. You don't know what's coming. So.
It could be like. All right,
I have a feeling celebration will be underwhelming. I don't know why.
I'm anticipating an underwhelming.
So I think the next episode will be Andor driven.
Yeah. And that's
not for Rhino Hobbies. Rhino Hobbies is going to have an amazing time.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's not going to be underwhelming for Rhino Hobbies, right? It's just for us because we're way over here.
Yeah, exactly. The only
other side of the Pacific.
And like I said, we'll get into our pre-show next week when we do this. But like I said, honestly, from what we got, the only thing that can make it a overwhelming experience if they dropped a trailer for something that's already in production, not something that's announced, but like, holy shit, just like they do with Mando Grogu. That little clip was a year ago.
Yeah.
I
mean, that teaser. I can't believe. All of a sudden, we see something from Heir to the Empire.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like just out of nowhere, it's like whoa. Or
Ahsoka 2 footage could be cool too. Like that could be like, oh, we didn't expect that because they're filming now. They're filming now.
That.
Yeah, probably.
100%. I'm expecting. Yeah. So whatever's next, I'm expecting. Like you said, something unannounced is when they do cool, and that's always animation.
Well, if they go, here's the movie we're doing, and guess what? Here's the director, here's all the actors, and this we're ready to shoot. That's when I'll have confidence in when they say we've got all these people attached, not just a concept. Yeah. Anyway, that's the next week's show.
Or a cool new show, I suppose. Yeah. Like, we got the Old Republic, Bane, whatever that we get.
Yeah. Here's Keanu Reeves. Oh, Revan's coming.
But no, he's some junker on. You know,
I'm a guy that was just a computer. I was fighting in the Clone Wars. I have all these battle droids, like Christopher Lloyd character.
But, he was the code breaker. You're the master slicer.
Oh yes. My God, dude.
We did this. What's the hours behind? Scott, is it 10 hours?
Rhino Hobbies probably knows better than I do.
Well, Basil says 14. We'll go 14. It's like 8 to England.
Well, that's 9 hours apart from England here.
Yeah.
8, 9, 8, something like that.
Yep. It is 1:18 p.m. Thursday the 10th. So it is.
So yeah. So about that. Okay. Yeah.
-8. So yeah, 16 hours.
Yep. Wow. Right on. All right, guys. Well,
it's just the next day. We just watch it. We'll get shit like in the middle of the day. Like
yeah. Beep.
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh, we're getting messages from the future. What is this?
Ooh, I got a Thursday message on a Wednesday.
Yeah. All right. Crazy. Well, Ernie's not here, so I get to keep the outro done this week. So
you do most of it anyway.
I know. You know, 500. You got to throw. You got to tell them like, hey, it's all you now. But
yes.
Every other Wednesday, we do this all over again. We will be, of course, again, our pre-celebration show next week. And then we're going to have a big Andor extravaganza for the next 4 weeks. Breaking it all down is going to be spoiler cast. So everybody, make sure you hit those bell notifications because we may drop something in between that or what have you.
Well, we're definitely dropping a Monday toy show.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Okay. You know, yeah. So I'm just like, those are Wednesdays for our Wednesday flagship where we do break down everything Star Wars, and every other Monday we do our toy show, the toy chest. We break down all the collectibles from Black Series, Vintage Collection, Hot Toys, you name it. I think there's going to be a lot more exciting things at Celebration for toys than there will be, and we'll be here to break it all down. And oh my God, but
is that normally true? I don't know why I don't know this. I don't think that's true anymore. Is Celebration is toys?
Hasbro never had a panel, and I don't think they had a panel like an actual
like Celebration 1. It was toy heavy because
we hadn't
done it in a while, right? Yeah. But I mean, now I don't.
Because they even said a live stream and big things are happening. They Hasbro came out and said it. So
big things.
Oh God, Death Star HasLab.
Oh my God, big things happened at the toy stores today. So huge releases today. So lots to talk about on Monday.
Start transferring money over to where the money's going to be taken out because a lot of pre-orders are hitting yesterday. Yeah. So and toy hikes. We'll be talking about toy hikes because they're coming. And see how that's going to affect our collecting habits moving on in the future. So
I think they'll hike them even if it doesn't affect them. I
already got the letters.
Yeah,
you're already got.
You're gonna get an excuse for a price hike regardless.
Yep.
Right,
exactly.
Is how I see it. Everybody's like, "Oh, we can raise revenue real quick in this quarter." Everybody's worried about tariffs. I'm gonna raise it anyway. Just to
anyway, yeah, because the pencil that I used to write the contracts, this comes from a tariffed country. Even though, so
watch something. People suck is what
I
I'm
know.
getting at.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! All right, so
what's up, Bernie? All right. Welcome everybody to the Starlight.
Yeah, we can get started.
We can start now.
Get started. Well, Ernie, we're doing the outro now, but I know you ran long. No problem, dude.
No, I apologize. I still want to come here and say hi. I did tell everybody who wants Star Wars news to jump on over here. Yes, but we had a special show tonight to get everybody together. We're pre-wrestling for WrestleMania. And we kind of all worked it out so we didn't know that everybody still watched it type of thing.
Oh, sure.
And so everybody wanted to do a show, and it just ran.
Well, we would have went on. I just skipped this.
Do you do wrestling too?
I would have went on with
Chris
you.
Does, yeah.
Dude, you got to come on the next one.
The Cena heel turn. I was there. I was watching. Come on.
Sorry. Yeah. Stupid. Chris, come to the next one. I didn't know that you did.
What's up?
Yeah. We had a full house. It was a great show.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Awesome.
Now, those don't let you know they watch wrestling still. We just watch wrestling.
I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So all it takes is one person to say everything. It's like yeah.
Well, that's how it happened with the baseball kids and the parents. All of a sudden, we were like, hey, you guys want to get a WrestleMania? And boom, it was every event, and everybody watched it. Everybody came all the time. Oh, I didn't know y'all watched WrestleMania.
Exactly. Like one of those little...
See? Yeah. You can still say Star Wars. I collect toys. I love Star Trek. I love this. I love that. But it's still kind of like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of starts with those guys, but those guys are like real life action figures, right? They're like real. That's how I always saw it. It was,
It's my novella since I was a kid. It's the greatest soap opera that is out there forever that I still
40
enjoy.
years strong. Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead. Laugh it up, Fuzzball, but I love it.
Even when you know it's fake. The stories are fake. I get it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still fun. Like you said, it's a novella, and I'm in.
Yeah.
And the action is awesome.
That's what's going on over at the Fallen Fett Chronicles. If you missed it, go over there and watch the replay. Get the comments in. Of course, support everybody that's here. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend. In the comment section below is our affiliates with SKN Network and Bliss Transmissions, who also share the Toy Chest Spotlight with us every other Monday. Watch for the 1-minute toy reviews. And guess what, guys? We are dropping trivia. I know you love the trivia at the beginning of these shows, so we're putting together blocks of trivia for you to take with you, enjoy, challenge yourself, or take to a Star Wars party that you're going to throw for May 4th.
And we'll keep score, and if you're not doing well, we ban you.
That's right. Gone. and the one that we dropped is 64 question random question that you've seen here on the show, and that's not going to be the last one. We're gonna run the gambit of a bunch of stuff, so that's going to be something that will continue. Again, use our resources for your Star Wars party. It'd be great. Or challenge yourself, and then let us know in the comments how you did. So
what you do is you watch them all, practice, and then call your friends over and have a game. And then you just whooped all their asses.
Exactly. Toshi Station Emporium for all your figure stand needs. I appreciate all the support there. Again, link in the description below for 10% off your entire purchase. Some cool things happening there again for the website, and you might want to hit the bell notifications for that and subscribe because doesn't take much and it goes a long way. So with that, I think we're done. Are we done?
Do we want to talk about May 4th?
Yeah, go for it.
We're not done.
Sorry. Here we go. Sunday fun day at a galaxy far, far away. Better Days Wine and Beer Bar up here in Apple Valley, California. We are doing our May 4th trivia challenge. There will be prizes. There will be specialty drinks. There will be food, specialty food. It's going to be great. Live music. Awesome time. You can't go wrong with answering questions wrong and having Grand Admiral Franz give you crap. It's like it's a rite of passage, right?
The worse you are, the more fun I have.
Yeah,
that's right. And all you need to do to visit and to take part is bring a toy, a new unwrapped toy valued at $10 or more. I think we're also going to accept $10 donations. It all goes to Chips for Kids. and it's going to be a good time. It's a toy drive for chips for kids, trivia, beer, wine, food. Us, you can't go wrong. I mean, come on. That is a fun day.
You can't go wrong, but we can. So it's gonna be an awesome night. Think about that.
I'm gonna have to mentally unpack that for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I did, and I was going to reverse it, and then I said, you know what? Just let him go.
Yeah.
Palpatine. Let's just roll.
I never said Palpatine.
Whatever. Palpatine.
There you. Thank you.
Palpatine.
With that, Scott,
Keep it nerdy, everybody.
I hate you guys. I love the pit.
You love us.
I love the pit. Don't like you.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.